Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the KDL Preseason. I'm State. With me is Peter. We got another packed audience here in Seoul, Korea tonight as we continue the preseason with two more team matches and the round of 16 solo losers match. So a lot on the line today. Some of these players in the individual league, they are going to be going home, and I cannot wait to get started. How you feeling, Peter?
I'm feeling great today. We have so many great teams, especially top 3 already that's moving on to the postseason playing today, meaning we're going to have some of the highest quality matches I'm super excited to see, especially KWANGDONGFREECS versus FNL, because I am a FNL fan right now these days.
Oh yeah, Banana, he's so easy to root for. The Freaks, of course, one of the best teams in the world, absolutely. Maintaining their undefeated streak, as here we have a quick overview of the team match portion of this league as we are getting ready to go towards that postseason. As it is right now, Peter, 4 teams have confirmed their spots. They've clinched their spots in that postseason. Those teams are the Freaks, Live Sandbox, ROX Esports, and Aura. But still playing for seeding right now. And for a lot of these teams that, you know, they're not going to qualify for the postseason, you still want to end the preseason here on a high note. You know, you want to show that you have the strength, you have the fortitude to excel when the next season comes along.
For sure, you definitely want to secure yourself that 40 million Korean prize one pool. And as we take a look at the standings, right now we have KWANGDONGFREECS, Live Sandbox, Aura, and ROX securing that top 4 spot to be able to move on to the postseason. And today we have Finale Esports. They are knocked down by a round point.
Finale Esports, they're all the way down there in 7th place, so KWANGDONGFREECS versus Finale being our first match here of the day is going to be a little bit lopsided on paper, but I mean, upsets have happened before. We'll see if it happens again, although I gotta say, Peter, it does feel like right now the KWANGDONGFREECS are unstoppable. So far, undefeated here in the the preseason, as they only need 2 more match wins to go for a perfect 7-0 heading into the postseason. And then, of course, following that match, should be another exciting one. Live Sandbox versus ROX. These are 2 postseason-bound teams fighting it out here in the second team match of the day.
For sure, it'll be exciting to see a bit of a sneak trailer into how these teams are performing so far. And, of course, we'll be having the losers match solo, which is going to be a treat to watch. Yesterday, we've had such a close tight battle. It went all the way to 10 tracks, and that was so crazy.
Yeah, I was watching that one back at home, and it was an exciting one. You know, it felt like there at the end, almost anybody could win, but let's save that for later now as our players here entering the stadium, being greeted by the fans. Of course, a lovely audience here in Seoul, Korea, ready to root for the KWANGDONGFREECS. This is a team of 4 aces. You know, they have 1 speed ace, 3 runners, but it really does feel like this is a team of 4 speed aces. They've proven that if you have the talent, you can make a 4-man roster work in this format to perfection. And Finale, they have their work cut out for themselves today here if they're going to take the KWANGDONGFREECS on.
Yeah, Finale, they have a 5-man roster having the Item Ace and Banana, but so far they haven't had a lot of success in the speed mode because they actually have 0 set wins in the speed mode so far out of the 5 matches they played. So today, if they're able to take speed set against KWANGDONGFREECS, that would be a huge upset and their best chance at taking the Freaks down.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think, you know, the potential with this roster, it's there. You know, Finale, they have a lot of talent even being here in the KDL preseason, but the Freaks are just on another level here. I'm not sure they're going to be able to defeat them in speed mode. I think if you're Finale, of course, you know, you're out of postseason contention. You want to still finish the season here on a high note, and beating the #1 ranked team right now in the world, the KWANGDONGFREECS, would be a great way to do it. So for them, probably their game plan is going to be try to win there in item mode, let Banana's game plans carry you through, and then go to an ace match where anything can happen. But, you know, the Freaks, they want to continue improving their skills and maintain their winning streak as, I mean, we just keep saying it, so far undefeated. I don't know if anyone's going to beat these guys, and they are determined, saying right here they will do their best, ready to fight until the very end. They're not phased by just confirming that #1 spot for the postseason. They want to go even further. They want to go perfect here.
Yeah, fighting, it is a term in Korean basically like, hey, let's all cheer on and do our best. So showing a lot of high morale for the KDL preseason so far. Definitely, GWANGDONGFREECS is the team that should have the highest morale out of all teams here as we take a look at FNL esports. Their average ranking is not that great.
Average ranking isn't that great, but I love this little clip from them at the top. Do you want to step on and slip? I assume they're talking about banana.
Yeah.
The red pepper powder flavored banana is ready, so I guess he's spicy in finale. You know, I can already tell they kind of are thinking about that item match mode already, because the Freaks, although they do feel infallible in speed, you know, maybe Banana, with all his personality, all of his game sense in item mode and his prowess, can lead finale to an ace match where, you know, upsets have happened in the future, but against the Freaks, I mean, this is truly a David versus Goliath match right now. Of course, FNL esports only ranked 7th overall here in the KDL preseason. As Peter, let's take a look at our speed track list here for the first match of the day.
So we have Desert Construction Chaos being first picked by the GWANGDONGFREECS. Not a best news for finale, because if they want to have a chance to win in the speed mode, they would have liked to get that first pick, but it went over to the Freaks. We have Boom Hill Tunnel and Terracotta Twister for them as well. Terracotta Twister, a very popular track choice for speed mode.
Yeah, it's a very fun one too. I'm a little bit sad that this is going to be picked to round 5, because I feel like with the mismatch of the KWANGDONGFREECS and FNL esports, we probably aren't going to go to a track 5 in speed mode. I mean, the Freaks are just frankly too good to allow that to happen. It would have to be a crazy upset, but it should still be a fun race regardless. You know, I can't wait to have Banana come out there in item mode and see if he can force an ace match. And for the Freaks right now, this is them starting to build their legacy here in Kart Rider Drift esports. You know, they were one of the best teams in Kart Rider League. Obviously, that is carrying through here in the KDL as we start a new year for Kart Rider esports. A lot of fans in the audience coming out to support their favorite players. And Peter, I think we're almost ready to go into track number 1. KDL preseason continues on here this Sunday in Seoul, Korea, as we move to Desert Construction Chaos.
We begin our track number 1 between GWANGDONGFREECS and FNL esports, and this is GWANGDONGFREECS track of pick.
Yeah, GWANGDONGFREECS gonna be really happy to play here on Construction Chaos, but you know, it feels like they're happy to play almost anywhere. As you see, already off to a fantastic start here. World, the speed ace for the GWANGDONGFREECS right up there. The head of the pack with Sungbin, trying to give him a little bit of space here, catching up to Striker, but you know, finale, they got a little bit of fight in them today here. Yoon and Vanilla close behind.
Yeah, Striker had an amazing block on Sungbin there, but Sungbin does manage to find a way to pass him. Now holding that 1-2 for GWANGDONGFREECS. Striker definitely got to break that formation.
He's gonna try his best.
Yeah, he tried his best, but he hit the wall, and that completely stopped his momentum. Now only Yoon is up there to try to break the 1-2, but there's Spear who's going to be blocking out Vanilla.
Spear coming in here on the flank and to try and do his best to enter the fray here and provide some assistance here for his teammates. And Yoon, for now, holding first place.
Oh my!
Ooh, that was some nice blocking there by Yoon. Yoon, speed ace here on finale, showing why he has that role. As heading into track number 2, he's all the way up there in first place. But as I say that, Peter, I mean, they just keep trading hands here at the front. Spear and Sungbin close behind.
Yeah, you can see the strategy for GWANGDONGFREECS is to really focus on that 1-2, while Cool and World, they are just going to be doing a lot of sweeping mainly. And I believe as we get closer to the finish line of this final lap, we're going to see Cool try to come up and also contest that 1-2 even heavier.
It's a little bit of a tough position here, though, finale with Taman all the way down there in 8th place. You would like to see him start to close the distance on World and Cool heading into the final sections of lap number 2. But the Freaks, I mean, they're just so good. They're so solid. Look at the space that Sungbin has right now. This body blocking here from Cool is out of this world. I think we actually lost a little bit of a shot there, but Cool just continuing to pose problems here. Is a big collision. It's going to slow down Cool, but right now, I mean, it's a 1-2 game here for the Freaks. 500 meters to go. Yeah,
Cool completely threw chaos into the back line of finale, and you can see the distance for Sungbin and Spear. It's nowhere close to breaking that 1-2, and GWANGDONGFREECS with an expected dominating performance right now in the speed mode against finale.
Yeah, and some great teamwork there at the end, especially in lap number 2 with Sungbin and Spear. They were the players on the KWANGDONG that were in the best position to kind of go for that play, securing the 1-2 win. And, you know, Cool, he came in, he created trouble, and he just caused, as you said, as much chaos as he possibly could to give Sungbin and Spear the space that they need, and almost a full second between second and third place right there. So that's a very solid win here for the Freaks, starting off speed mode in our first match of the day.
Yeah, and Spear, not only was he able to secure that 1-2 in second place, he also had fantastic blocks that bought himself time in the first place, and he gave room for Cool to catch up, which eventually he used fantastically, getting so many sweeping done, and that's why I feel like KWANGDONGFREECS decided to use a card build of 6-2-6-0, putting some points into that acceleration, because they can afford to take the collision, since they will be able to recover much faster than Finale, who is rocking that 6-0-6-2. And track number 2, this is Finale's pick, so hopefully they'll be able to find a comeback angle in Mine Gold Rush.
Here we go on Mine Gold Rush now as Finale's going to try their best to close the distance here, but the Freaks just continuing their dominance from track number 1 with Spear and Sungbin. This 1-2 punch here at the front of the pack. Already contesting Vanilla, Yoon, and Taemin as the Freaks are in, once again, a dominating position. You got to watch Cool right here as the Finale players really bunched up. Some nice blocking coming out of Sungbin, and now he's trading places there with Cool. And you see Cool sweeping a little bit there. He's trying to block Yoon as best he can. The speed ace for Finale getting denied as the KWANGDONGFREECS, they're trying their best to create space, but Taemin and Striker able to thread the needle a little bit there. It's them in the top 3 positions here, chasing Spear.
Yep, we were definitely seeing a repeat of the strategy we've seen in the first track, where Spear and Sungbin was really heavily focusing that 1-2, while Cool and World were focusing on sweeping, but it's different now because World is in first place. Sungbin, he took a bit of a collision, he fell back, and it's given Striker the room to try to break that 1-2.
Yeah, and Sungbin, he doesn't seem too keen on sweeping just now. He's just trying to close the distance. He takes a really tight inner line there, creating more space. And you already see the gap between World and the remaining players from Finale. And, you know, the Freaks, you harped on this earlier, talking about their 6-2-6-0 build. They're not afraid to go for the team fight. They're not afraid to make connections, create collisions, because they can rebound from those better than Finale can. And so far, I mean, this body blocking is insane.
Yeah, Spear's getting in the line of Striker. Not only that, the 3 full lineup of Finale, making sure that they don't have an easy drafting range. And now we see Yoon, he's the only one that's broken into top 3, but that 1-2 is still so dominant for KWANGDONGFREECS.
I mean, look at the space right now between the 1-2, and Spear once again comes in. And this is an even more dominant track number 2 here on Mine Gold Rush for the KWANGDONGFREECS as they just continue to flex their muscles here in speed mode. One of, if not the best speed mode racing team here in the KDL preseason, continuing their dominance, continuing their path towards perfection, going up 2-0 here in speed mode against Finale, and obviously feeling fantastic. A lot of smiles here on the KWANGDONGFREECS roster as, I mean, we were talking about how, you know, in track number 1, it felt pretty dominating. This one felt even more dominating here for the Freaks.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5 is pretty much ideal when even 1-2 is enough to get yourself a win. Really showing how heavily KWANGDONGFREECS is able to control the standings here. Fantastic sweeping, making great usage of their card builds as we take a look at the replay. This is the moment where Yoon, he tried to get across, but Cool, he swerves right into his path.
Yeah, Cool, just some fantastic racing from him. Get another shot there of him swiping into that path of Yoon, slowing down the speed ace of Finale. And this is what KWANGDONGFREECS does so well. I mean, you look at their roster, and officially they all categorize themselves as either speed ace, world, or runners. But this is a team that can truly do anything. It's why they excel so much here in speed mode. It's why they are so far undefeated here at the KDL preseason, as they look to carry on their dominance here, looking for the speed mode sweep on Village Boom Hilltop.
Off we go into speed round number 3. This is match point for KWANGDONGFREECS, and they are also on their track of choice, so Finale has a lot to prove.
Yeah, we'll see what Finale's able to do. One of their better starts so far with Taemin and Yoon contesting spots right here. And let's see if they can do a little bit of zoning, a little bit of sweeping. They're actually no Sungbin with the inner line. You can see Taemin, he tried to body block him, tried to give Yoon a little bit more space there to contest Cool at the front of the pack, but now it's actually Sungbin joining Cool, drafting off of each other, trying to close the distance.
Yeah, and we see Cool getting a lot of great blocks there on that 3-4 position, wanting to keep that 1v1 between himself and Yoon. As we take a look at the track, there's a lot of zigzags here.
Yeah, I'm actually liking this little picture-in-picture of the track view there. That's something that I haven't seen before here on the KDL broadcast as the production just continues to get better. Now Cool holding on to that #1 spot. You can see Yoon trying to pass him at any possible turn. Finally does get the breakaway there. Striker going for a little bit of blocking, but I mean, the Freaks, they just gel together so well. And you can see right there as we have a collision there. I think, was that a Finale racer going down?
Yeah, it was from Finale, and now it's Taemin who does manage to step up to the plate. Spear, he does get a bad collision that sets him back. Now Yoon, if he takes that first place position from Sungbin, that could have been enough, but Sungbin is the one that maintains the lead for GWANGDONGFREECS, and that is going to be the 3-0 finish.
Yeah, one of the closer races of this set so far is Yoon just a fraction of a second away from catching up with Sungbin and, you know, putting Finale on the board there in speed mode, but instead, with a point score of 20-19, GWANGDONGFREECS are going to sweep the speed mode as we get ready to go into item mode. And I mean, for Finale, getting 3-0'd against the Freaks, obviously it's not what you want. You want to at least walk away with a 3-1 here and improve your round score a little bit, but their winning condition coming into this series, it was always going to be relying on their item ace Banana coming through with clutch play calling in the item mode to force an ace match. So, you know, for them, I would like to see their chins held high, try to regain their confidence here as Vanilla is swapped in for that item ace Banana. And I'm happy to see them smiling a little bit because, I mean, you know, you come in against GWANGDONGFREECS, the best speed racers in the world here. It's a tough opponent to beat here for Finale. So let's see what they're able to do here in item mode. I'm curious what kind of tricks they have on their sleeve.
Well, we do see the spicy pepper banana coming in. This was the mention from Finale themselves, putting a lot of emphasis on their item mode, which I definitely see happening. As we take a look at the item track list, great news for Finale. They do have the first track of choice, which is going to be London Night, followed by Pharaoh's Pass and Magma Cavern.
Yeah, so Finale taking the 3 picks here in item mode, clearly prioritizing that overall. Freaks map choice will be Mushroom Caves and Cogwheel Crush, so getting a nice little spread of a lot of different biomes, a lot of interesting, you know, different views here in item mode. Is, you know, I don't know if it's that item mode tracks are prettier or if it's just that we're racing slower so we can appreciate them more.
Right.
But yeah, it should be a fun time, and I want to see what tricks Banana has on up his sleeves, as I said, because, you know, he's coming through with a kind of interesting build here. You know, a lot of times we see people roll with something like a 5-3-6-0, where you prioritize speed and acceleration a little bit more because, you know, boosts, they're not as common in item mode. Obviously, you can't build those up with drifts. Actually, hold that thought. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get ready to go into track #1, World Tour London Night. The action continues on here with the KDL Finale Esports start a comeback. And we're off here in London as our racers are fresh out of the gates. He's slowing down here. His Spear picking up a couple of items. Gets a couple of nitrous there, so will speed himself up. But, you know, as this is kind of a marathon, not a sprint here, I just want to go back and talk a little bit about the item builds coming out of Finale, because it's kind of interesting to me that they're not really optimizing speed and acceleration as much as the Freaks, who are all rolling with a 5-3-6-0. Banana actually opting for a 4-0-6-4, so only four points in speed, 0 in acceleration, 6 in boost speed, and 4 in boost duration. So I'm kind of expecting to see Banana to be the player that Finale is going to try to get in position towards the end of the track, ideally with a nitrous and a magnet, because, I mean, a 6-4 boost combo is just going to outspeed everybody else on the track if you're in a good position to use it.
He is the item ace, so we can definitely trust him on those strats. He's going to be looking for the magnet and the booster combo to especially utilize that build. We are currently in the second lap, and across the board, we are seeing a lot of magnets, which is what we want to see in the current meta, and there are 1 angel each for Guangdong Freaks and Finale.
Yeah, so relatively balanced items. Actually, no attacking items at all on the board for either of these teams. Is they're all just kind of happy to accept the positions as they lie. Some of these items will get rotated out. Sungbin now picking up an EMP. But, you know, coming here into lap number 3, you don't want to re-roll too much because there's only so much track left before that finish line. You kind of want to hold on to the Nitrous and the Magnet unless you're going to be playing more of a supporting role here for your team. And, you know, Banana right now in 5th position, that's not really good in, you know,
here we go, though.
The rankings, but here we go. Only 300 meters left. Taemin does get bogged down. Actually, Banana there with a big boost is going to propel him across the finish line. I was seeing him there in 5th place. Was like, okay, well, you would like to be a little bit closer to the front of the pack, but actually, that 6-4 combo. 6 points in boost speed, 4 points in boost duration, and he has a massive Nitrous to just propel Finale to put themselves on the board here in item mode, going up 1-0 against the Freaks. And I mean, this is what Banana kind of brings to the table. He's the wild card here for Finale. Got a big personality, got a big brain too. Cooking up some creative builds is going to finish about almost a half a second ahead of the leading racer there for the Freaks.
The concerning point for me there was everyone had Magnet and boosters, and there was only 1 Angel each for the teams.
Yeah.
And that really opened up for the missile to come in, and it was able to knock out a member pretty much right as they popped the Magnet. So it really opened up the field, less people trying to go for that Magnet rush, and it was Banana who managed to hold on to his Magnet rush till the last moment, coming in clutch for Finale, and they definitely needed that win because they want to continue this dominance and try to get to the ace match as we get ready for track number 2, Forest Mushroom Kings. Off we go into round number 2 of item mode. Finale up 1-0 against Guangdong Freaks, and this is Guangdong Freaks' track of choice.
Yep, here on Mushroom Caves, this is a 2-lapper, but a little bit of a longer lap than London Night, so should be a fun race to go into as all of our racers here just kind of coming through this beautiful sightline. Man, this looks like a wonderful place to take a hike.
Wow.
Got these mountains, beautiful walking path here. All these rivers and water. It's a gorgeous area here. Right, Sungbin right now in first place. World gonna slow himself down a little bit. Try and set up for the water balloon. Actually does get it there on Banana.
Yeah, World timed it perfectly.
Yeah, of all the players that you're gonna hit, I think Banana right now should be the target of choice for the Guangdong Freaks, considering that he does have that 6-4 build there in boost. And it's been kind of interesting to see, you know, the meta develop here in item mode, because it's kind of a mixed bag in terms of what you really want to go for here as we get into lap number 2. I mean, we talked a lot about how players would, you know, just go for the wombo combo of the Nitrous and the Magnet, which is still a winning combination, but, you know, I love the creativity that we're seeing out of Finale, opting for these builds. I mean, no racer on this team here for Finale Esports in item mode has the same cart build setup, so they're really trying to play to each other's strengths. And yeah, we're starting to kind of get into the area where these players, they're not going to want to rotate their items too much.
The barricade earlier completely destroyed the momentum for Guangdong Freaks, but now they were able to come back, slowly creep up, still putting pressure on Finale as we see Sungbin taking a nice lead for himself. And Finale, they do have a lot of magnets, so they'll be able to catch up. Sungbin with the Angel dodges that water bomb beautifully. There's a magnet on him now, however, so he's going to get slowed down, and he actually crashes into a obstacle. Now it's Spear able to come in along with Cool, securing a nice win.
Oh, that was some heads-up play there by the Freaks. The Magnet came in, just slows himself down, allows Spear to come in from the outside. I think with the Nitrous to secure the win there for the Freaks, as Finale was not able to get Banana into a striking position there. And, you know, that was one of those situations, kind of the opposite of what we had on London Night, where the way the item builds were kind of shaping up there at the end of lap number 2, it didn't feel like the teams really had the items that they wanted to have in their bag. So, Spear coming in from the outside there with the Nitrous, able to deliver the win, tie this one up 1-1 there for the KWANGDONGFREECS, as they're looking to close this one out with 2 more track wins.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the magnets were really utilized by FNL there, and KWANGDONGFREECS able to recognize that. I'm sure someone made the shot call, hey, just press the back button. Everyone's still using their magnet on you right now, and using that perfectly. We saw 2 members of KWANGDONGFREECS pretty much being able to take a clean 1-2 as we see a replay of some of the water bombs happening. These were really timed well.
Yeah, it's such a heads-up play here by Sungbin.
Yeah, Sungbin.
No, I'm not going to give any more energy to you guys. I'm just going to opt out right here. You're going to lose your momentum there with the magnet, and man, this is a trick that we haven't seen too much here in the KDL Preseason so far. So the item mode meta just continuously gets deeper and deeper. Well, we're tied up 1-1 here. The best of 5 turns into a best of 3. Both these teams need 2 more track wins to secure the item mode. Let's go to Desert Pharaoh's Pass. And we're off here. FNL desperate to get another track win to go to match point here in item mode. Try and force that ace match here against the KWANGDONGFREECS. The Freaks themselves would love to try and close this one out with a clean 2-0 with speed and item.
Looking spicy with the double missile. He uses one of them to catch World off guard. Now it's Yoon and Banana in the lead.
I love Banana just kind of swiping over there to the right, try to do a little bit of body blocking. Does miss it though. Sungbin slows down, avoids that water balloon, as we just have more items getting traded out here. And this is kind of the way that we see things often go here in item mode is, there's a lot of attacks that come through in the early game because with so many laps left to go before the finish line, there's a lot of race left to be played. There's a lot more items to be shuffled through. But, now that we're here on lap number 2, I wouldn't be surprised to see that start to slow down a little bit. These teams are going to start prioritizing the magnets. They're going to start prioritizing the nitrous, the angel shields, and trying to figure out, which racers on our team are going to be the ones in the best position to propel themselves across that finish line, and who's going to be gunning for a little bit more support.
Speaking of Angel Shields, it was only KWANGDONGFREECS that managed to pick up 2 Angels just now. FNL sitting on 0 Angels. Okay, now Yoon, he's finally picked up 1 for his team, but they are still behind 1 Angel. Now they were able to force one out of KWANGDONGFREECS as we move on to the final lap.
This is kind of crazy. Banana's the only player right now so far with a magnet, and we're on lap number 3, so some of these nitrous, I wouldn't be surprised to see them get shuffled out. You see Striker on the board. He tried to go for 1 instead, picking up a water wisp. Everyone hugging the wall will avoid that water balloon, but I'm a little bit curious about how this is going to go. Okay, Banana pops one of his UFOs. That's going to put him in first place right now, and he actually has both a magnet and a nitrous here coming into the final lap, and keep in mind, his boost is the best in the business, so let's see if Banana can actually use that here. 200 meters left to go. Angel Shield's popping off, but actually it's going to be Spear. Banana loses all momentum there, and the Freaks are going to go up 2-1 here in item mode, going on to match point.
A disaster for FNL. We thought this is where FNL could have a bit of an advantage over KWANGDONGFREECS because although KWANGDONGFREECS so far haven't lost a single whole game, they haven't been winning every single item sets. And so far, KWANGDONGFREECS not only 1 win away, they were able to secure a really nice win coming in from Spear. A full 2-second lead before that second place. He had his handle on that booster really nicely.
Yeah, there was so much action there at the end that I actually didn't fully realize what happened there to Banana because, he had both the nitrous with a 6-4 in boost, by the way, and the magnet. So I was expecting him to contest that final finish line, but he just wasn't able to make it happen as we're going to go through the replays here.
Yeah, he got booped off way out of line. That really killed momentum. And Banana, he had a magnet on him, and it seems like that really killed a lot of his momentum. Or he decided to press decelerate in order to not give that magnet advantage over to KWANGDONGFREECS, but maybe some miscommunication because other members of FNL were not really there to be able to step up and try to contest for that first place. Now we are moving on to KWANGDONGFREECS' choice of track, Factory Cogwheel Crush. Here we go into item round number 4. This is a potential match point for KWANGDONGFREECS.
Yeah, match point here for KWANGDONGFREECS as they would love to close this one out with a 3-1 win here in item mode and continue their perfect run here in the KDL preseason without needing to go to an ace match. And FNL, you know, right now they're just playing for glory, trying their best to go home happy here, mathematically eliminated from the postseason. But, you know, coming up here against the FREECS, the best team in the world, you can kind of make up for a little bit of that pain of not making the postseason by coming through with an upset. It's just the FREECS, they've been so solid, even here in item mode, winning 2 of the first 3 tracks. And I love how their position's looking so far. I mean, World and Cool, they're in a nice spot here.
Yeah, and they managed to use a missile to slow down Yoon, so it's going to open up. Wow, nice dodge on Banana there. It was really sneaky.
Yeah, that banana pop, I'm like, oh man, I was really expecting Yoon to actually hit that one, but no, just able to avoid it on the inside as we continue here.
Oh, nice water bomb, and we saw Sungbin actually completely stop to dodge that one, so nice shot calling from the KWANGDONGFREECS.
KWANGDONGFREECS, I mean, they don't have an item ace. This is a team of, you know, 4-speed specialists, it feels like, but they're just so good at Kart Rider that they can truly do anything here. And see all these racers slowing down as, you know, pulling away from the pack with magnets in Frey isn't often a winning combination up until the very end. So we'll see exactly how this one's going to shake out. So we're about halfway through the second lap here.
Yep, our players were really focusing on trying to deny the item collection coming in for each of the players, but now we are starting to get a bit concerned. Right now we see a bunch of Angels, Banana gonna get stopped out by the water bomb. Now it's Yoon at the front along with Spear and Sungbin.
And Banana falling all the way to the back means he's not gonna be the one that's gonna try and finish the race here. It's gonna be probably Yoon and Taemin here gunning for the 1 spot. Taemin with 2 magnets, Yoon with 2 nitrous. I bet they wish they could share those right now.
5. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 5 for KWANGDONGFREECS. They're looking so good right now. Striker coming in, but Spear took that top path. Collision happens. Now it's World with the Angel, able to ignore the water bomb and speed across, locking in a 3-1 victory for his team.
Yeah, Banana tried his best to make up the ground there and come through with a clutch win, but it's going to be World finishing in first place, securing the 3-1 win here in item mode for the KWANGDONGFREECS as they continue to go perfect here in the KDL preseason. 6-0 now overall in seasons. Only one overall in series, excuse me. Only 1 series left to play. As I mean, what they're doing right now, it's just out of this world. I mean, this team is a must-watch team right now in KDL.
Yeah, KWANGDONGFREECS looking real good right now. So far, we thought Live Sandbox might be the team to be able to put a really nice challenge for the KWANGDONGFREECS, but actually, they were able to ace that challenge with Seungha, who was sitting out. So now, really the only question is, who can possibly challenge KWANGDONGFREECS? Is it Live Sandbox now with Seungha back?
Yeah, maybe. Potentially, we will get that rematch here in the postseason when it comes, but for now, the KWANGDONGFREECS, they are just on top of the world, 6-0 overall in matches, winning the speed set 3-0, the item set 3-1, as the FREECS just continue to march on. And, you know, we were thinking that maybe Finale with their item ace Banana might be able to force an ace match here, but the FREECS, they're just so good, so well-rounded. This team is playing out of their mind, frankly, here in the KDL preseason. It's so thrilling to watch them every single day. I'm so happy when I get to catch their games. It's been, as you said, a treat. I mean, they're just on top of their game right now, on top of the world. And they are the team to beat.
Yeah, and so far, KWANGDONGFREECS, they've gone to ace match only twice in this preseason. And both times that they went there, they've also won, which is why they have that 6-0 flawless record right now, showing almost an impeccable record when it comes to matches revolving speed or ace matches. And so far, even in the item matches, they've won 4 out of 6 sets, which is incredible because at that point, you can only say that item mode is perhaps the weakness for the FREECS, but even there, they're doing phenomenal so far.
Yeah, and it just really goes to show how well-rounded this team is and how versatile every single player is, because you watch them in speed mode, it's not just one ace who's trying to gun for the #1 spot every single track. they're happy to interchange just based on the way that things kind of shake out. You'll see Cool sometimes run away with it going first place. Other times, as he was today, he will just be, sweeping and swiping and blocking everybody else out, providing space for the KWANGDONG racers at the front of the track. And I mean, it's just been a winning combination for them. And, generally speaking, the meta logic in kart rider esports is that you don't want to run a 4-man roster. You want to run a 5-man roster to have someone who specializes specifically in item mode when it's in the league. And it's kind of a faux pas to not do that for a lot of these teams. I mean, Sensation's one of those teams that we kind of talk about. All right, they don't have an item ace. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they're having problems right now in this league. But the Freaks, even though they have what feels like 4 speed specialists, they're just all individually so good and so talented, and clearly the communication is there, the teamwork is there. They're able to deliver not only in speed, but also in item mode so consistently that I don't know who in the world could stop them. I mean, on paper, I would think it has to be Live Sandbox, but the Freaks already dispatched them earlier in the preseason. We're going to see if they're going to do that again in the postseason if we do get that matchup, and man, I really hope we do.
Yeah, we've already built so much story and rivalries here in the preseason, and that's what's really exciting because now we're finally getting those tickets punched in, the teams locked in for the postseason, and honestly, outside of that even, going back to everything we've had in the preseason so far, teams like FNL, they haven't really had a successful season, I must say. They've shown us definitely a lot of good sportsmanship and some really clutch moments in item mode, but so far, looking at the potential next seasons coming in, you can definitely feel the gap right now between these pro and amateur teams. So the homework here basically is fixing those mistakes. You can't have a weakness. You can't be weak at a particular mode. You got to have the item aces if that's your problem. Like, for instance, teams like Sensation and Rocks. Rocks being a team that's actually moving to postseason, but they're known for having a bad item mode.
Yeah, this is something that often happens in new esports. Kart Rider, I mean, it's not necessarily a new esport. The game has been out for months. Kart Rider esports been around for decades. But, KDL is brand new. Kart Rider Drift, relatively, in the decades of esports history, is relatively new. So I would expect to see more parity as we continue through with a year of Kart Rider esports, and maybe that gap is going to shrink a little bit. I love what you said about homework because it certainly does feel like some of these more amateur teams, while they do seem to have the potential, it's going to take a lot of practice to actually close the gap between titans of the game like the KWANGDONGFREECS or Live Sandbox.
Yeah, and KWANGDONGFREECS, honestly, so far they've shown, as you said, even without having an item ace, they're looking impeccable even in the item mode. And it really comes down to the fact that they're all great speed players. And on top of that, it seems like they have a really good cohesion with each other. They're running that strategy where they like to go for that 1-2 a lot. And of course, when you play these games, not every time will you be able to maintain that 1-2. There could be collisions, personal mistakes. And whenever that happens, there's Cool to step up to the pass and suddenly deny that 1-2 for the opponent, securing that again. The sweeping ability is also phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, we just continue to harp on it, but this team is so good. So unbelievably good. I mean, you could take any of the players on the KWANGDONGFREECS roster, and if you planted them in any of these other teams that we have here in the KDL preseason, they very much could be the speed ace of that team. It's a team of nothing but aces, it feels like when you watch them. And they're aces that are versatile as well. I mean, Jong, we watched him race for Rocks Esports, and it feels like he's one of the fastest players, in the world. He could probably hang with the Freaks in an ace match. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the versatility that they bring to the table, as you said, with Cool being able to come in there and sweep and swipe, and same thing for everybody else from the top of the roster down to the bottom, it really does feel like that as we're waiting for the Korean broadcast to finish up with the interview here. But it's just been a great start to another day of KDL preseason, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get ready for that postseason. It's going to be so hype.
You have to start wondering with the dominant performance that the Freaks had, do you have to consider a new kart build meta? Because we've seen them prioritize putting the 2 points into acceleration often, and it really helps against those collisions.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to be it for us for now. When we get back, our second team match of the night, don't go anywhere.